It is so very important as you do what we do with our business model that you obtain feasibility study time, or some will call it due diligence. And for us, it's 90 to 120 days after we ink a contract for us to start getting into the details of the project to know exactly what we have before we put up any type of earnest money. And so a feasibility study is where we get into laying out the project, figuring out exactly what we want to do with the property, and then we connect with the jurisdiction, we show them what we want to do. And some of the key things we're trying to figure out during our feasibility study, that 90 to 120 days, is we're trying to figure out the requirements, meaning what is the jurisdiction going to require for this project in order for them to approve it. Number two is restrictions. So we're going to figure out not only what restrictions are the jurisdiction going to put on us, but also we're going to go and do geotech studies, traffic studies, environmental studies, whatever studies is needed for that jurisdiction or that property in order to be a part of our application that the jurisdiction is going to approve. We're going to figure out, we're going to go and do those boots on the ground studies, and we're going to figure out what restrictions exist with the property. And then also we're going to figure out the cost. What is the actual cost to do this development? And our engineer is very, very involved in that. They'll do what's called a cost estimate for us, and they will detail out all the costs for the project. And it's very important that you figure that out during that 90 to 120 days, because no two projects are the same. No two projects cost the same to develop or to construct. And then the other thing we're going to figure out is the marketability of the project, meaning that we're going to go out and speak to the potential buyers in the marketplace and figure out how marketable this particular project is in this particular location. So that's very important. So we're figuring out the requirements, the restrictions, the cost, and the marketability of the project. And once we've got our arms around all of that, we really have a good idea of what we have for a project. And if we're comfortable, then we move forward and we go ahead and put up the earnest money per the contract, per the purchase and sale agreement. And then we will move forward working on getting the project approved. Once we get the project approved, then we will close. But it's very important that you check all those boxes. And I just summarized it very quickly. There's many that you can break down those 4 items into many more boxes, but I'm just trying to be brief. But it's very important you check all those boxes during your feasibility period. It's also very important that you, like I said, you don't close on these properties until the project's approved. Because if you're going to pay development values for land, you got to make sure it's developable, and it's not developable until it's approved. Once it's approved, then you can close on the property. But I can tell you there has been times, and we've been doing this since 2002, but there's still been times when we've entered into our due diligence process or our feasibility study period, and we've had surprises, and we've had those surprises kill projects. I'm thinking of one in particular that all of our clients, our buyers, loved the project. They wanted to buy it. It was in a great location, an area in that particular state they wanted to be. And then what happened is when we met with the city and we were connecting with the city's even consultants, we realized the city had major capacity issues that, yes, we could solve their capacity issues for them by upgrading some of their facilities, but it just wasn't even remotely cost effective or would even remotely work because of the size of the project. We couldn't make those improvements for the jurisdiction and then have them reimburse us later. It was too big of a cost that we weren't anticipating, that just destroyed the potential for us to develop this property, at least anytime in the near future. So it's very, very important you check all these boxes during your feasibility study, during that period, that 90 to 120 days. With that said, take care. Hopefully that was valuable, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye.